Final score at Everbank Stadium, Vikings 12, Jaguars 7. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor, Bucky Brooks standing by near the Jaguars locker room. He'll visit with head coach Doug Peterson coming up. Jaguars defense played the guts out today. They were on the field for over 42 minutes, and they gave up 4 field goals in the game. They took the ball away 3 times. The Jaguars offense, though, had the 5th worst yardage day in franchise history today, and were flirting with the worst until the final little drive there. 143 yards of offense today for the Jaguars, and they had that 1 touchdown drive in the first quarter. After that, not much at all, as Mac Jones made his first start for the Jaguars. So the Jags fall to a record of now 2-8. Fred, good afternoon.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Well, not the loss totals are up. That's what's
up.
The
loss totals are up. We're going to throw this one on the side of what is the 6th game that was decided between 1 and 5 points. They're right there, man. And going back to look at this game, just a combination of a little bit of everything. I thought the defense played fairly well. They got the turnovers and made the plays they need to make at the right times. Yet, as we were talking about before the show started, just on the field entirely too long, and that was because the offense couldn't get anything going. I don't know. I like to say I have some answers every time we link up to do this post-game stuff, but I don't have any answers, and it seems that the offense doesn't either. So here we are again.
I think the one answer may be we need to see more zone out of this defense, right? I mean, we saw a lot more zone today, and
they played it well,
right? They got 3 interceptions, and look, I get it. They gave up 400 yards, but they stiffened when they had to. Minnesota came into today, in every game this year, they had scored at least 20 points. You held them to their season low. You had the lowest point total against you this year, and you just couldn't get anything going. And once again, the disappearing Brian Thomas Jr. Oof. I don't know if it's his fault. I really don't know. You know, Fred, it's tough to see what he's doing if he's getting open when you're watching on the TV, but hardly any targets going to BTJ.
Yeah, you know, it's tough to see when we have the sideline view and we're here. But I can say this, that last interception where he took the deep shot to Gabe, it seems that number 7 was coming, or he was wide open on that particular play. And, you know, we can kind of nitpick at different plays throughout the day and say, hey, you got to find a way to get 7 the ball. But I think, obviously, a Brian Flores coach defense, they do so much from scheme to skies, coverage. Their front has been, you know, very good in the games and the stunts that they run. They confuse the offensive line as well as the backs on several occasions and put the Jaguars in 3rd and 17, 18, 10, 18, 3rd and long several times by what they do up front. So with the Jaguars not having their starters out there to protect the quarterback, I don't know if he had as much time as they would normally have. But whatever the Vikings did to take Brian Thomas away from the game, the Jaguars are going to have to find a way to counter that going forward, because he's the best playmaker they have on offense. So they got to find a way to get him the ball.
Plenty ahead. We are standing by. Bucky Brooks is near the Jaguars locker room. He'll visit with head coach Doug Peterson when he visits with the media. When that's done, he'll walk down the hallway and we'll have the conversation with the head coach. Let's take our first time out. We'll come back. Plenty ahead as we recap a really tough day at the bank. 12-7 the final score. The Vikings over the Jaguars. Vikings now 7-2. The Jaguars now 2-8. And this is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning, and you could save up to $4,500 through possible tax credits and other discounts. Purchase a new system today, and Florida Home Air Conditioning will buy back your old inefficient HVAC system. Request your complimentary consultation from Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Hey fans, it's Tyson Campbell, cornerback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, your game day is getting even tastier with Al's Pizza in the stadium. And every time we get a pick, you'll score. If the Jaguars get one interception, you'll enjoy buy one, get one free pizza at any Al's Pizza location Monday through Thursday after the home game. 2 interceptions, a free dessert. And 3 interceptions, that's a free appetizer. Just tell them you want the Jags pick. Up your game and get your Al's Pizza at the game or any of their locations.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Brooks Rehabilitation is proud to be the official rehabilitation partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are here for them, and we are here for you. Ranked #1 physical rehabilitation hospital in Florida by U.S. News and World Report, our playbook is individualized treatment and exceptional care to get you back to living your life. Brooks has cutting-edge technology and therapy solutions in every care setting, treating sports injury, orthopedics, brain, spinal injuries, and more. Go beyond your expectations with Brooks Rehabilitation.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC continues. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Fred Taylor. We're at the Hyundai Studios after a Jaguars loss to the Vikings. 12-7 the final score. Plenty to dissect. The offense struggling again today. 143 yards total. They were only on the field for just under 18 minutes on offense today. And, boy, the Jags defense was out there for 42 and change. Gave up over 400 yards. But there was a bend, don't break philosophy on defense today. The 4 field goal drives, 12 plays, 14 plays, 16 plays, and then the 5-play field goal, which they stood up again when they could have given up a touchdown. But, hey, credit the defense for standing up at the end of these long drives, Fred. And, a lot of times this season we've seen them play pretty well, especially early in the year, and just not have a lot of help from the offensive side.
Yeah, I mean, the defense, I thought, again, they creating the turnovers earlier there in the first half. I think they took 2 interceptions away, and then to start the third quarter, they were able to get another interception. They didn't surrender the lead until about 7 minutes to play in the ball game, and that's due to just being out there a long time. The offense at that particular point in time, is just charting the possessions here. Man, from the end of the first quarter, it was punt, end of half, punt, fumble, interception. And the defense out there playing lights out, giving them opportunities, yet they couldn't do anything with it. But I can say what I was, excited to see based on the conversations we've had the past couple of weeks was the first 15. So I went out and I made it a point to chart the offense's production over the first 15. Obviously, we got a touchdown there, but still 2 3-and-outs. Had to deal with the Vikings holding the ball over 8 minutes. Yeah. Still, the offense has a very, very, very long way to go, and you got to call a spade a spade. I think that the staff has to go back and say, what are we doing wrong offensively? Because this is it was the 4th game in a row, approaching the 4th game in a row, where they're going to be under 40 yards at halftime. And that's a problem. They got away with it this week because of that drive, the opening 15. They were able to get away with it and make it look better. But since the Bears game, we're getting 15, 20 yards and 30 yards first, second quarter. That is no way acceptable. I mean, I can get that probably in my sleep on one play. Sure. Well, not right now.
Well,
maybe
when I was good playing. Shape.
But yeah, these are the hard truths. Like, I understand, they're saying the coordinators want to call it and they don't know if Doug is doing it, but you got to figure out, these are the hard questions you got to answer. And for the betterment of the team, I hope they can find a solution to that question, because the offense seems to me to be slowing the progress of this team being successful.
Surprisingly enough, they were 5 of 11 converting third downs today. And it seemed like Minnesota converted every third down to T.J. Hawkinson.
Oh, they did.
Right? But they didn't. They were only 5 out of 14 on third
Yeah.
down. It just seemed like that. They had that one drive where he had like 4 first down receptions, but which tells you, though, the Vikings were doing a lot of damage on first and second down. They ran 82 plays today. I mean, again, I think, if you're going to laud one side of the ball, the defense, clearly, they only gave up 12 points. And that's the bottom line, is how many points you allow. But had to be exhausted. But it's still stepping up late in the fourth quarter, Fred, to force a field goal and keep it a one-score game to give the Jags a chance when, after that interception, they could have had all the life sucked out of them.
Yeah, no, even you go back and the interception there, you still had an opportunity. You go down and you turn the ball over again and pretty much call the game on that one. But I still think that the defense, even though they were out there fairly often, I mean, you give up 12 points. You take away 3 turnovers. The offense got to give you something. You put the ball there. You had an opportunity. The offense has to step up and give you something.
And they did not get much of anything today. And the final score, 12-7. The Vikings over the Jaguars, still standing by. Bucky Brooks near the locker room. Head coach Doug Peterson will visit with him after he meets with the media. And plenty ahead as we continue our post-game analysis. Jaguars fall to a record of 2-8. This is Jaguars post-game on the Jaguars Radio Network.
To aim higher, run faster is what elite athletes do. Always strive for better. At UF Health, we have that same DNA. To not just treat a stroke, but to create a fleet of mobile stroke treatment units. To not just do research, but to use AI to save lives with one of the most powerful supercomputers in academia. We believe, like athletes, that human progress has no finish line. UF Health, National Medical Center for Team USA.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents in 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank NA, member FDIC.
Are you ready for some football? Well, you are now, thanks to Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the NFL, Ticketmaster's got the best way to take it to the house when it comes to being there live. They're the safest and most convenient marketplace to score fully verified Jaguars tickets. And even if your plans get broken up or worse, turned over, Ticketmaster gives you more flexibility to sell your seats. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
Something happens when you begin to believe. What seems way off in the distance gets closer.
You focus on what needs to get done, and you'll let nothing get in your way.
Next year becomes this year, and maybe next time becomes now.
A whole city will rally behind you and begin to believe too. Because when you believe, the unbelievable can happen. We believe in justice for everyone, and we believe we're the attorneys to help people get it. Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars. Jacksonville.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today. Official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. We're at the Hyundai Studios across the street from Everbank Stadium, where the Jaguars lost today to the Minnesota Vikings, 12-7, the final score. And the Vikings now 7-2. The Jaguars fall to a record of 2-8. Sixth loss of 5 points or less this year for the Jaguars. And today, the offense, a no-show, basically, 143 yards. The defense gave up 4 field goals in the game. They were on the field for over 42 minutes of game time. As Tony Baselli said, the most in the NFL this year of any possession.
That's crazy. Fred, let me ask you, Jags have needed to get turnovers this year, right? Because the defense hasn't been great a lot of the time, and they haven't gotten them. What changed today? Was it just switching up to zone? Because they did a good job containing Justin Jefferson. They had a lot of opportunities. Actually had 4 picks, and one of them got overturned because of the penalty. And what was the difference today?
You know, that's a great question, Mike. I just think, obviously, the one tip ball So the coverage was a little tighter to create that opportunity. Back there by Brown in the end zone, sort of questionable. A really good play by him to be able to go dig it up, scoop that out, and come away with the interception. But that was zone as well. And I think the third one by Savage right there on the sideline, just a great play by him in a zone.
Really good coverage.
Yeah, very good coverage there. But I thought the coverage was fairly good throughout the night until you had those big third downs where they took advantage of the tight end. What they said, we were going to come out fast and create mixed matchup with the tight end. And he's a big body. And they said, all right, we can put the ball in his vicinity. We'll give ourselves a chance to be successful. And just looking at here, I have 7 plays before I got interrupted by the fans upstairs. And by all means, interrupt me, guys. That's fine when I'm working. I don't mind. But I charted 7 plays to Hockenson on third downs alone. You know, that's not the big 26-yarder late in the fourth quarter down the seam, but these were plays designed to go at specific players on our defense, namely Foye Oluokun, and they were successful. They executed. They watched film. They went out there and executed. But I think overall, though, the defense did fairly decent in their zone scheme.
They certainly did, and obviously on the other side, there's plenty to comb through here on the offensive side. And all right, it is. Let's start with this. I mean, the left guard was out today, Hance. Walker Little now is the left tackle. There was a bad snap by Morse today. That was one of the giveaways at the end of the game. Sheriff and then Anton Harrison. Overall, what did they get today? Sacks. They gave up 1, 2, 3 sacks in the game. What'd you make up front today against this group and all the different looks that the Vikings defense can present?
I saw some communication errors and some breakdown in technique where it seems that the linebackers were blitzing the B gap and the offensive line crashed down to protect that gap when it's not usually his gap or his player. And when he steps down, it leaves the DN as a free runner. I also saw a few in there when the Vikings decided to blitz where the running back just didn't do a good job of blitz pickup. And if we're going to put that on tape, the opposing teams, they're going to take advantage of. They're going to send more blitzes until the running backs become a lot more stern there in the pocket. So Travis has to get better upon initial.
Touchdown drive, and then after that, it just we couldn't stay on the field. I mean, credit Minnesota, on what they did defensively. Coach Flores, I mean, they did their stuff, and we didn't overcome a few things. Had a couple setbacks on first down. Hadn't too many second longs. But, this game is not about one person or one man. It's a team sport, and we just didn't do enough today.
What kind of feedback, if any, did Matt give you about the 2 interceptions? It looked like he stared down Gabe on one, and then on the long pass, it looked like he also got hit on the release. So I don't know what that did to change the trajectory of the ball.
Yeah, I got to honestly we got to watch the tape tomorrow, watch it with them, the players, get feedback, and because I didn't necessarily speak to him after, the two change of possessions like that, we were right back on defense. So I didn't get a chance to talk to him at that time.
Any feedback afterwards in the locker room from him?
I mean, he's hurting. He's taking it hard. I just told him it's you know, again, it's not about one guy. You know, this is a team deal, and offensively, you know, we didn't do enough around Mac. And I'm not. Listen, it takes 11 guys, and yeah.
Coach, why'd you have such a difficult time today getting the ball to your wide receivers? I think there were only 3 targets to them in the first 3 quarters.
Minnesota did a nice job. They showed, you know, if you watch the game, they showed a lot of 6 up, 7 up, which they do. Play a lot of, you know, cover 2, spin out to cover 2, a lot of cloud stuff, and then of course the pass rush. So it puts. It's a challenge. I mean, it's a challenge, and you know, we obviously have to do a better job when we see that kind of stuff, and you know, execute. As coaches, we can prepare a little better there and help our guys out. But you know, I credit what they did.
Doug, just from a big picture standpoint, what's your level of disappointment and maybe even shock just being 2-8 through 10 games?
Yeah, we never expected to be here. Obviously, what we had 5 or 6 games now that are, you know, 1-score games. This is it's hard. It's hard. You know, we're as a team, as coaches, we're making it hard. We're making it too hard, and the guys are frustrated, and they should be, and they're angry, and they should be, because we all are, and but we have to channel it in a positive way, and get ready for another one.
Doug, I know you mentioned that last week they were clouding Brian Thomas a little bit, taking him away. Do you see more of that kind of stuff today, or is it just Minnesota's defense, and is there anything you can do to get it to him and get him into the game, because it's been so minimal touching the ball the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, you know, they played more. I mean, this is a cover 2 defense, and they did a lot of that today. And then again, it's, you know, their pass rush did a nice job. Got some pressure on Mac, made him scramble early, and then so it's a combination of both, right? It's what they did schematically to us, and then just our you know, execution offensively.
What was the play? What was supposed to happen on the final Mac interception if he didn't get hit and throw the pick?
Yeah, I'm not going to go through the details of the play because you guys wouldn't figure it out, but we'll look at the tape tomorrow and we'll make those corrections.
Doug, you guys have worked so hard on trying to get things going early. Second drive, 9 plays, 70 yards, 4 passes, 5 runs. That ended up being half your offense. Are you shocked that you got it done the way you did, but then you couldn't continue it throughout the remaining 3 quarters?
Shocked that we were able to score?
Just move the ball with the type of success you did during that 9-play drive.
I wasn't shocked early in the game. I mean, that's what we expected to do. You know, I think as the game progressed, it just got seemingly worse, right? First down, run the ball, we got behind the chains. Second long, it got harder offensively, and you know, that was the frustrating part, I think. Just not staying positive on first down, because you go back to that drive, that's what we did. We were able to stay on the field and stay positive on first down.
One more? Anybody else? All right, thanks, Coach.
Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Black Friday is here, and your local Ford dealer is holiday ready with great offers sure to bring you joy. With new inventory arriving daily, now's the time to take home the legendary Ford F-150, the truck at the top of everyone's list, or Ford Expedition, an SUV with room for all your passengers and presents. And if you're ready for big holiday thrills, unwrap the Built Wild Bronco SUV. Are you holiday ready? The Black Friday sales event ends December 2nd. See your local Ford dealer today.
It's game time, Jaguars fans, and Publix knows that football is all about pairings. A high-scoring offense paired with a stingy defense. A rocket-armed QB paired with a dynamic wide receiver. And at Publix, you can pair hot deli chicken tenders with savory dips, delicious sub platters with ice-cold beverages, and you can pair these tailgate essentials with an entire parking lot full of Jaguars fans chanting, Duval! Gear up for your tailgate at Publix, the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC continues. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor from the Hyundai Studios. Final score 12-7 Vikings over the Jaguars. Jags defense on the field for over 42 minutes today. Had 3 takeaways, allowed only 4 field goals. But the Jags offense issues 143 yards and 3 giveaways late. Head coach Doug Peterson is with Bucky Brooks now. Bucky?
Coach, thoughts on the tough game today?
It's tough. It's frustrating, you know. We're angry, disappointed. I mean, JP just summed it up, you know. Now that defense played really well. You know, hold that offense to 4 field goals, and I think 0 for 4 or 5 in the red zone, and the takeaways. I mean, that's winning football. But then, you know, offensively, we didn't do our part offensively. The complementary aspect of the game that we talk about, and we just made it too hard. First down execution, a little bit too many second longs. You know, things that even with, you know, with Mac, I mean, trust me, it's not on him, you know. Obviously, I'm the head coach, he's the quarterback, so we're going to get the blame for these things. But, you know, he fought his tail off, you know. All those guys did, and it's just it's frustrating, another one-score game.
Yeah, Coach, you know what's interesting at halftime, you're really positive and upbeat with the team, kind of had the game dictated the way you want it. But you said something interesting. You talked about execution and emotion. What do you mean by that when you're telling a team, like, proper execution leads to more emotion and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, execution fuels emotion, right? You play well, you're gonna feel good. That's the emotion part of it. And you know, and the defense did that, and the defense helped fuel our emotion throughout the course of the game. And you know, despite the woes on offense, they kept going out there and battling and you know, doing their part. So we just didn't do enough.
You know, and looking at it, like, obviously I'm on the sideline, so I get a chance to see the energy and emotion. It seemed like the team was really locked into playing today. Like, you talked about the defense playing well and getting enough stops and those things, but it felt like everyone was really trying to rally behind the backup quarterback.
They were. I mean, this team was in a great spot. You know, they had a great week. This team doesn't quit, man.
Give everyone a chance to sit down really quick, and then we'll get started with you.
Matt, could you just talk about your level of disappointment, first start in your hometown?
Yeah.
Had a chance to go get a win, and for lots of different reasons it didn't happen.
Yeah, I think the defense played great, and the offense, you know, we got to do better, and it starts with me. And those guys fought, though, and I really appreciate the team for having my back. Just got to learn from it. No excuses, and yeah, I definitely wanted a different result, but I'm going to keep fighting.
Could you take us through the first interception? It looked like you were staring down Gabe a little bit. You may not have seen the defender in front of him. And on the second one, you did get hit a little bit on the release, so I didn't know how much that affected the ball.
No excuses. Just go through my reads and live to fight another down, especially in those situations on first down. So nothing that anybody else did. It's just on me. So the defense got us the ball back, and as a quarterback, you got to just put the ball in play and let the guys make plays. So it's on me.
On the second one, did the hit affect the ball at all, or were you expecting Gabe to stay on the path he was because the ball went a little bit to the right?
I'm not really sure. I have to watch it. I definitely need to step up, and I'm not really sure what happened once I let go of the ball, but yeah, I have to watch it.
Mac, you gained some momentum early. Second drive, 9 plays, you're up 7-0. I would think from a confidence level, you're feeling pretty good. Did Minnesota make adjustments defensively? If not, what led to the struggles?
Yeah, it's one of the top 5 defense in the NFL, so they're going to challenge the quarterback, and we actually did a good job on the hard stuff, and then the easy stuff just wasn't good enough by me. So Coach Flores, their defensive coordinator, had those guys ready, and we just got to play better, and it starts with me. And just going back to our defense, I already told them they played a great game, and I got to put a better product out there to help us win.
Mac, how deflating was it you mentioned the defense's performance for the offense, I think average around 3 yards per play off of turnovers?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they played a very good football game, and a game that gave us plenty of chances to win. And as a quarterback, I got to get us in the end zone or get some field goals on the board. And we were in it at the end, but that's the NFL, and you never know how the games are going to go. So just got to finish better.
Mike Brodsky, Florida National News. Mac, were there any friends or family members that were here to support you in this start here in Jacksonville, in your hometown? Yeah,
I had a few family and friends, and I grew up down the road and played my first game, tackle football 19 miles from here. So definitely disappointed with my opening start, but I know I can be better, and I usually bounce back pretty good from failure. So I'm going to see what I can do.
Mac, how did you feel like you were rusty at all? You haven't played football in a while, and to this degree, right?
Yeah, I mean, I get the scout team reps, and I felt prepared. Everyone was on the same page for the most part during the week, and it's been a year, so no excuses. Been playing my whole life and played a lot of football in this league, and I know what I got to do to win. And today, what I put on the field wasn't good enough, so I just got to keep working and do everything I can to stay motivated and confident and lead the team as best I can. With Trevor being out.
You guys had only 31 yards in the first half last week. I think 143 today. I mean, does it feel like everything you're trying right now just doesn't work as an offense? I know you weren't out there last week, but you got a front row seat.
I think every game's different. I think this week's I was focused on their defense and the challenges they present, and I don't think many quarterbacks have played well against that defense, and I got to play better and have a better plan. I'm gonna learn from it and take the completions, but each week is different. You can't really look at one week versus another, especially when you're not out there.
Matt, could you take us through the fumble? Did you pull back a little too early, or what actually happened on that fumble?
Yeah, that's on me. Look, me and Mitch, we don't get that many reps together, but we get them after practice a lot, so there's no excuse for that. It's a simple, it's a day one play that you learn, and it's on me as a quarterback.
So did you just pull back a little too quickly, or?
I'd have to look at it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, appreciate it.
Dempsey, Fred Taylor from the Hyundai Studios at the Miller Electric Center. Today's game was delivered by CSX. CSX, how tomorrow moves. Final score, Vikings 12, Jaguars 7. Plenty to dissect from those comments just a moment ago with head coach Doug Peterson visiting with Bucky Brooks. What stood out the most, Fred?
Just really a little bit of what we've been talking about in here. The miscommunications, the lack of protection there, ending up in second and long and not giving yourself a true chance on a few of those third downs, and really just putting yourself behind the play calling. Again, they had several third and long in the middle of the game in the second quarter to start the third quarter. I believe they only ran 6 plays in the entire third quarter, 3 minutes of time of possession there. So I think Doug is looking for answers. He's trying his best to stay positive in all of this. He can clearly see that it's a bit of the coaches, it's a bit of the players, but collectively as a unit, it's the team in its entirety. And you go in together to try and win. You come out win or lose. You got to stick together. But he's searching. Hopefully he can go look at the tape, come back and say, all right, this is what it is, guys. You to a man, call a couple guys out when they need to be called out, and hopefully that'll kind of spark something where they come back and try and play better for next week versus the Lions.
He just doesn't have answers, right? I mean, Bucky asked him, hey, what are your thoughts on a tough loss? And you can count the seconds, 1,001.
Right.
I mean,
Every
it
week.
wasn't the longest pause he's had this year, by the way.
It was not. Right.
But I don't know if part of him, Fred, is trying to be composed and, just rather than just explode. I don't know.
Trying not to call out, make a mistake and really in the heat of frustration post-game, you have to collect your thoughts because there's so much going on out there. And when you feel like, watching it from the side, you can say, well, these 2 or 3 plays really beat us. And you can, make comments to that and then watch the film and maybe have a change of heart. So, I think he's doing the right thing, what a head coach should do in those sort of situations. But I think in the locker room is where he should certainly make sure the necessary players or coaches, the staff, whomever it is, there are guys that need to get better, just across the board. And I mean, call them out in the building if you don't want to do it, and by way of post game. And I respect him for taking his time, collecting his thoughts, trying to find the right things to say.
Time now for the Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game, and there were many to choose from. 3 takeaways for the Jaguars defense today. We'll give this one to Monteric Brown with the interception in the end zone. It ended a 17-play, 76-yard drive, and in the end zone for a touchback. Monteric Brown with a pick. I mean, there were obviously the tip ball interception by Aluakin, Darnell Savage near the goal line along the sideline there. But considering the length of that drive and the way Minnesota was surging and staying on the field all day, Fred, we'll give it to Monteric.
I think that's a good one, JP.
Yeah, there you have it. The Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game. Let the pros tackle the pests in your home by going to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com. Plenty ahead. We'll take a look at the injury report a little bit later. We've got to pick a player of the game. We've got to get to stats. All after a Jaguars loss. 12-7 the final score, and it's Jaguars post-game on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning, and you could save up to $4,500 through possible tax credits and other discounts. Purchase a new system today, and Florida Home Air Conditioning will buy back your old inefficient HVAC system. Request your complimentary consultation from Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Brooks Rehabilitation is proud to be the official rehabilitation partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are here for them, and we are here for you. Ranked #1 physical rehabilitation hospital in Florida by U.S. News and World Report, our playbook is individualized treatment and exceptional care to get you back to living your life. Brooks has cutting-edge technology and therapy solutions in every care setting, treating sports injury, orthopedics, brain, spinal injuries, and more. Go beyond your expectations with Brooks Rehabilitation.
Jacksonville builders score big with DL Cabinetry. As the official cabinet supplier of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they offer top quality kitchen and bathroom cabinetry for any project. Enjoy fast turnaround, complimentary design, and great prices. Visit dlcabinetry.com today to learn more and to become a dealer. Limited spots available. DL Cabinetry, the winning choice for builders.
Imagine beautiful new windows and doors that elevate your space and keep you comfortable year-round. At Renewal by Andersen, we specialize in custom-built, energy-efficient windows and doors that are crafted to last. Right now, for a limited time, save 20% off your entire project. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation today. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey and Fred Taylor. We're at the Hyundai Studios. Let's take a look at the final statistics today. Total yardage in favor of Minnesota, 402 to 143. It's the fifth worst total in Jaguars history in terms of total yardage in a single game. They were flirting with the worst all time until the final possession or two of the game. Third downs today. Minnesota 5 of 14. They started better than that, certainly, and faded late. Jaguars 5 of 11. The Vikings had 28 first downs to the Jaguars 10. So as you mentioned earlier, Mike, that means on first and second down they were really good. They didn't have to get to it a whole lot. Rushing yardage, 169 for Minnesota, 56 for the Jags. Passing net, 233 for Minnesota, 87 for the Jags. Penalties, 6 for 40 yards for the Vikings, 3 for 25 yards against the Jaguars. Jaguars defense had 3 takeaways and led the turnover battle 3-0. And then the Jaguars gave it away 3 times late, and it ended up even today, 3-3. But the time of possession is the kicker. 42 minutes, 19 seconds for Minnesota, the highest time of possession of any team in the NFL this year. They were on the field all day. Jaguars defense held them to only 4 field goals in the game, but that's enough for a win for Minnesota.
All right, individually, Mac Jones on the day, 14 of 22 in his Jaguars starting debut, threw for 111 yards, no touchdowns. He threw 2 interceptions, lost a fumble, but he did run in the only touchdown of the day early in this football game. Sam Darnold, 24 of 38 for 241, but the Jags picked him 3 different times. He did not throw a touchdown. His quarterback rating, 48.2. Mac Jones was 38.3, so not a stellar day for the quarterbacks. Travis Etienne led the way on the ground for Jacksonville, 11 for 44. Aaron Jones had 17 carries for 88 yards. Cam Akers, 13 for 38, filling in off the bench. Evan Ingram, the leading receiver for Jacksonville, the only player to catch more than 2 passes from Mac Jones. He caught 6 for 40. TJ Hawkinson had 8 catches for 72. Former Jaguar Josh Oliver, 4 for 52. Defensively, Devin Lloyd, 9 solo tackles, 7 assists today, led the way for Jacksonville. Foye Oluokun had 11 total. Sacks for the Jags. Well, Trayvon Walker got the only one out there today, and Blake Cashman, Ivan Pace, and Andrew Van Ginkel had the sacks for Minnesota.
All right, let's get to it. The Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. I get a vote. Mike gets a vote. Fred gets a vote and a half to break any deadlocks. Mike, you want to get us going?
All right, this is kind of cheating, but I'm going to say the coverage on Justin Jefferson is the player of the game. If you want to put a face to it, I'll say it's Tyson Campbell. All right, Tyson Campbell on the day had 9 tackles, 4 solos, had a tackle for loss, had a pass breakup. That was in coverage on Jefferson there. Other guys covered him as well, so I don't want to give all the credit to Tyson Campbell, but when you can hold down Justin Jefferson to 5 catches for 48 yards, he had 9 targets in this game today, that's probably as good a job as anybody's going to do on him all season long.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I'm certainly not going anywhere near the offense today. It was the 5th worst day in history.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Let's make it. At least I'll make that vote as well. What do you think, Fred?
I like that vote
because that was a big storyline coming in. Justin Jefferson, number 1 in the league in receiving yardage. How do they cover him?
He's going to name his number, right?
Yeah, the best we've seen out there. Certainly after his former college teammate went crazy on Monday Night Football versus the Ravens, I thought he figured he would come in and have somewhat of a pretty similar game, but he didn't. The secondary did really well. I want to go with Monteric Brown.
Okay.
Because one, he did. You gave him the defensive player of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a huge stop in a bend don't break situation, which should have ultimately led it finished in the field goal for the Vikings. But he was able to get a takeaway there. He did throughout the day at some point get an opportunity to participate in covering Justin Jefferson. So really it's a secondary, I guess. But if I had to put a name to it like you, Mike, I would want to say it was Monteric Brown.
6 passes defense today for the Jaguars defense, the 31st ranked passing defense in football coming into this game.
Yep.
And Justin Jefferson held down today. They gave up some yardage to tight ends. That's how it went today. So there you have it. The Jaguars Radio Network player of the game goes to the secondary. We'll give it to Tyson Campbell and Monteric Brown. will split the honor. If you're looking for the MVP of the truck game, look no further than Ford F-150, loaded with impressive capability and designed to dominate work, play, and everything in between. This truck makes tough look easy. Your local Ford dealer, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Baptist Health Injury Report when we return. It's Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning, and you could save up to $4,500 through possible tax credits and other discounts. Purchase a new system today, and Florida Home Air Conditioning will buy back your old inefficient HVAC system. Request your complimentary consultation from Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
What's Here is a place that generations have trusted to help their kids grow up healthy and strong. What's Here are caregivers with knowledge and expertise rivaling any children's hospital in the world. What's Here is the only Level 1 pediatric trauma center in our region. What's Here is Wolfson Children's Hospital, with the technology, research, and dedication to save and change countless young lives. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Black Friday is here, and your local Ford dealer is holiday ready with great offers sure to bring you joy. With new inventory arriving daily, now's the time to take home the legendary Ford F-150, the truck at the top of everyone's list, or Ford Expedition, an SUV with room for all your passengers and presents. And if you're ready for big holiday thrills, unwrap the Built Wild Bronco SUV. Are you holiday ready? The Black Friday sales event ends December 2nd. See your local Ford dealer today.
Jacksonville, get ready! Bass Pro Shops is opening a new store at the World Golf Village exit on Wednesday, November 20th, starting at 6 p.m. Enjoy live music, exclusive discounts, and more. Plus, a total of 20% of all sales during the evening for conservation will benefit the local community. 10% will support local conservation organizations, and another 10% will go toward hurricane relief right here in Florida. Don't miss this exciting grand opening event. Get there early. You won't want to miss it.
Everyone circle up. I know it looks rough out there. Sure, we're down 24-6, but we came here to play differently. We need a game changer. Something like Ring Central, the business phone system that's more than a phone. I want you to communicate like you can talk to anyone, anywhere, all from the same app. Now get out there and play like you're using Ring Central.
Ring Central. Simpler communications.
It's game time, Jaguars fans, and Publix knows that football is all about pairings. A high-scoring offense paired with a stingy defense. A rocket-armed QB paired with a dynamic wide receiver. And at Publix, you can pair hot deli chicken tenders with savory dips, delicious sub-platters with ice-cold beverages, and you can pair these tailgate essentials with an entire parking lot full of Jaguars fans chanting, Duval! Gear up for your tailgate at Publix, the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Jaguars Radio Network. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. Jaguars postgame continues, presented by Florida Home AC from the Hyundai Studios. After Jaguars lost to the Vikings, 12-7 the final score. The injury report presented by Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good, and a few guys on the list today, and most everybody on the list, I believe, came back into the game. Tank Bigsby, first quarter, came back into the game. Tyson Campbell, they were looking at his left arm sometime in the second quarter. He came back into the game, was impactful. Devin Lloyd in the third quarter, slow in getting up, but remained in the game. Of course, finished the game with a team high in tackles. Eric Armstead was being evaluated for a concussion in the fourth quarter after some friendly fire got him in the ear hole, and he returned. He came back into the ball game late, and we heard Josh Hines Allen was kind of favoring his right arm at some point in the fourth quarter, but he finished things out as well. I mean, it's overall a banged-up team to begin with Left guard was out today. Receivers were back, but they've been fighting through some stuff. All 3 running backs were on the injury report this week at some point. I mean, that tells you what that is. And, of course, the number one is the quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. And the big question moving ahead, Fred, is how bad and how long will this be?
Right. Certainly that's going to always be the biggest question. It's that point in the season, JP, Mike, 10 weeks in, guys have been scrapping, trying to put things together. Guys getting opportunities to go out there. And the challenges usually are the injuries. How can we find a way to keep plugging and playing? And they're finding a way and, doing the best that they can. But, if I were any of these backups getting these opportunities, I'll be excited, Hopefully it can translate to, a win eventually. But the Lions are going to Detroit to play a really good Lions team, and that's going to be an interesting one too.
Arguably the best offensive line in the game, Detroit. So, yeah, I look. Doug Peterson said it after the game. This team's not quitting; they're not giving up.
Right.
But that's great. I hope that is the case for every professional football player, though, right? But it's true that you get to this point in the season, you see teams starting to get blown out a lot when they're out of it, and that's not been the case for the last 3 weeks. They're playing NFC contenders, and they've been hanging with these contenders. They've got another one. Hanging is not good enough. That's not the goal. But based on where this team is right now and what the record is and the fact that they were without their quarterback today, I think a lot of people thought Minnesota was going to come in here and name their score. So that wasn't the case. They're just going to need more of these kind of efforts. And like you asked, JP, earlier, how long can you keep getting that emotional pitch out of that team when you're not getting the results?
Right, and we'll find out, I think, in the coming weeks with Detroit this week on the road, bye week after that, and then the Houston Texans come to town, the division leaders, right after the bye. Our final timeout. We'll come back with final thoughts after this Jaguars loss to the Vikings, 12-7 the final score. It's Jaguars postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
To aim higher, run faster is what elite athletes do. Always strive for better. At UF Health, we have that same DNA to not just treat a stroke, but to create a fleet of mobile stroke treatment units, to not just do research, but to use AI to save lives with one of the most powerful supercomputers in academia. We believe, like athletes, that human progress has no finish line. UF Health, National Medical Center for Team USA.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A. member FDIC.
Something happens when you begin to believe. What seems way off in the distance gets closer.
You focus on what needs to get done, and you'll let nothing get in your way.
Next year becomes this year, and maybe next time becomes now.
A whole city will rally behind you and begin to believe too.
Because when you believe, the unbelievable can happen. We believe in justice for everyone, and we believe we're the attorneys to help people get it. Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars. Jacksonville.
Today's highlight is brought to you by Toyota. At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota, let's go places. Lease a new 2024 Toyota RAV4 LE Hybrid for $359 a month for 36 months. Offer valid through December 2nd, 2024. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. $36.58 due at signing. No security deposit with select equipment. $350 disposition fee. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor from the Hyundai Studios, and Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're on the Jaguars Radio Network, of course. Presented by UF Health, University of Florida Health, the proud healthcare partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, and there at least will hopefully be one Jaguars winner today. whoever got the 50-50 raffle at the stadium, brought to you by Duval Ford. The winning number, 492-586-58074. The total jackpot, just under $47,000. The winner will take home $23,427. Good luck to you. Jaguars-Lions next week. The Lions tonight are in Houston for a big-time battle, of course. The Jaguars have the Texans after the bye week in 2 weeks from now, or 3 weeks from now. But, hey, a tough place to play when the Lions are playing well, which they certainly are these days. And it's a rabid fan base that's been reignited over the last few years with Dan Campbell there running the show and the quarterback playing well and the weapons they have on offense and a defense that can fly around, Fred. This is a tough assignment.
It's going to be very tough, man. I believe they also have both running backs potentially are closing in on 1,000 yards in Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Fast and powerful. Now, you're talking about a 1-2 punch that I can appreciate. Those two guys are getting it done. And, Mike, you mentioned that offensive line that they're running behind, along with Jared Goff, a guy who had some resurgence in his career, and he's been great since he's been in the Lions uniform. So they got a squad on the offensive side. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Laporta, and then the defense there, finding a way led by Aaron Glenn, long time Jaguar. Many people probably don't remember that. But Coach Glenn is doing a great job with their defense, creating all sorts of turnovers and opportunities to get the ball back to the offense. So, interesting game.
It is. Mark Brunell, quarterback coach as well.
Yep.
Doing a good job. Obviously, Goff has put up completion percentage numbers that are almost unparalleled in the history of the game over like a 3 and 4 game stretch. But I think it's Jameson Williams that has taken that team to a new level this year, because he's only flashed a play or two here in his first couple of seasons, but now back off his suspension tonight of 2 games. I mean, he has been a big play waiting to happen in every single game for Detroit this year. And when you've got to worry about that over the top and they've got all the intermediate and underneath options, that is a tough team to deal with.
All right, that'll do it for tonight. The summary again, 12-7 the final score. Vikings over the Jaguars. Jags with 143 yards of offense. The defense on the field for 43 minutes almost in the game, just over 42 minutes. Fred, we'll try to do it again next week, man. Appreciate you, as always.
I'll be right here waiting.
I like that.
Let's make it happen.
Fred Taylor, proud of the Jaguars running back with us. Mike Dempsey, I'm JP Shadrick. Thank you for listening. For those on our flagship station, stick around. The Scoreboard Show is next. Final score for the final time. Vikings 12, Jaguars 7 on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Welcome to the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. This is your chance, Jaguars fans, to sound off about today's game. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by University of Florida Health, Farah and Farah, Baptist Health, and by Everbank. Now, waiting to hear from you, here are Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and JP Shadrick.
And welcome in. It is the Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Brian Sexton. We're at the Hyundai Studios at the Miller Electric Center after a 12-7 loss, third in a row for the Jags. The Vikings now 7-2, the Jaguars 2-8. And there's a lot to dissect here. The defense played their guts out today. They're on the field forever, 42 minutes and change. But then they stiffened and allowed only 4 field goals in the game. They got 3 takeaways. The defense that was near the bottom of the league in pass defense and takeaways all season. But they played both of those fairly well today. The tight ends got some numbers, but Justin Jefferson was held for the most part in check. Unfortunately, though, the offense, 143 yards, the 5th worst day in the history of the franchise on offense. And they had 3 giveaways in the second half of this game, Brian. Good afternoon.
On 3 straight drives. Yeah. I kept wondering why they didn't take more shots down the field, and then I realized that they obviously didn't have a lot of confidence in their ability to put the ball down the field, because when they did, although I will say this, Both of those interceptions by Mac were on balls targeting Gabe Davis. That was a bit frustrating.
Yeah, interesting because the second one, apparently Doug Peterson got asked about it in the post game and what was supposed to happen on that play.
Is that because Brian Thomas was open in the flat?
I don't know if that were the case, but he was asked what was supposed to happen.
Right.
What was the design of the play or the idea? And he reportedly declined to answer because the media wouldn't understand.
I was sitting in the other room listening to that, and that was his comment was, you guys won't figure it out.
Okay.
Well, the Jaguars offense hasn't figured it out either, so we're in good company.
No.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's one of those days.
Less than 18 minutes time of possession.
Listen, if you had told me that the Jaguars defense would have 3 takeaways, 2 of them in the end zone, and hold this Vikings team to 4 field goals, I would have told you that's a win.
Yeah.
That's winning football.
Absolutely.
Second half of the season starts off right. And I get Mac was coming in. It was his first start since last year when he was in New England, but I mean, shouldn't there be something that this offense can rely on? I think that's my great takeaway, JP and Mike, is you would think that, okay, here we go. We can do these 2 or 3 things. You can't, like the Vikings to T.J. Hawkinson on 3rd down. I know Fred gave you the numbers.
Oh, my gosh.
Right.
It was nonstop.
Right. You should be able to have a couple of things, even with your backup quarterback. Like, we know this. We can do this.
It was every time. Like, oh, they need 7 to go. He gets 8.
Right.
Oh, they need 8 to go. He gets 9. But, let's pop him for 26.
Yeah.
Like, what?
The Jaguars,
that one drive in particular, he had
4 third down conversions and another on 2nd down.
Now, the good news
same
for
drive.
on that drive, that ended with Monteric Brown taking the ball away in the end zone.
Yeah.
So that was fine. But where is the thing that the Jaguars do on offense? Even if it's 3-4 yards at a pop, you got the feeling today that there isn't anything that they do that you can rely on.
There's no identity
consistently
of this team. We've talked about this all year.
That's the best way to say it.
And it should be, at this point, Brian Thomas Jr. as the featured aspect of the passing game. And I get it. Like there were times, though, Mac Jones had time in the pocket.
Yeah.
On that second interception, he had a lot of time to
They
throw.
may have only gotten to Justin Jefferson, 5 times for 48 yards? They didn't stop him from trying, right? I mean,
He had 9 targets.
They kept throwing it at him. Mm-hmm. And I think, listen, I'm not an offensive coordinator. I've never played the position, but I would think that this team has enough faith in Brian Thomas Jr. Keep trying to force the ball there. And I'm telling you, on the second interception, on the throw that got away from him, if he had thrown it in the flat at about the 27, 28-yard line, Brian Thomas was right there. It was right there. Just take what's there, fight another play.
Especially in a one-score game.
Yeah. Fred and I could not keep people away from him today asking the question, why aren't they throwing the ball to Brian Thomas Jr.? Why aren't they throwing the ball to Brian Thomas Jr.? That line of questioning is not going to go away until they throw the ball to Brian Thomas Jr.
That's how it goes. 12-7 the final. 355 NFL 1 the number. And we'll come back with your calls. Just keep it clean tonight. That's all we ask.
Oh, is that me?
No, yeah, you too.
Yeah,
You too. Yeah.
I promise I will.
All of us. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio. Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, CSI Companies partners with leading healthcare and technology organizations nationwide to deliver workforce solutions. CSI prides itself on building meaningful relationships and provides personalized operations to fuel the success of businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your workforce solutions reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com.
Hey, Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic looking for a parking space? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Field is on JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 5 locations around Jacksonville. Passes start at $10 and are available exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app. Visit JTAFLA.com for full details. The JTA Game Day Express, where you're winning before the game even starts. Your Game Day Express is sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in Miami and Houston. Watch them win in Philly, Detroit, Nashville, and Las Vegas. All the other Jaguars games are just one short connection away. And if airport parking has you stressed, be sure to visit the Jax Airport website before traveling to the terminal. On it, you'll find information about the status of on-airport parking in real time. See if your favorite areas are available or if you need to call an audible. Visit flyjax.com for more information.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
What's here is a place that generations have trusted to help their kids grow up healthy and strong. What's here are caregivers with knowledge and expertise rivaling any children's hospital in the world. What's here is the only Level 1 pediatric trauma center in our region. What's here is Wolfson Children's Hospital, with the technology, research, and dedication to save and change countless young lives. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Hey fans, it's Tyson Campbell, cornerback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, your game day is getting even tastier with Al's Pizza in the stadium. And every time we get a pick, you'll score. If the Jaguars get one interception, you'll enjoy buy one, get one free pizza at any Al's Pizza location Monday through Thursday after the home game. 2 interceptions, a free dessert. And 3 interceptions, that's a free appetizer. Just tell them you want the Jags pick. Up your game and get your Al's Pizza at the game or any of their locations.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
And welcome back. The Scoreboard Show continues. 355 NFL1, the number, 355-6351. What you got, Mike?
Well, we've got Darren, who is just leaving the game or just recently left the game, checking in first on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, Darren.
Hey, guys. By the way, Dempsey, I know you live in St. Johns County, bro. Just take your time. It's 10 miles an hour on 95, bumper to bumper, pouring rain at the rest area. So, anyway, just take your time, brother.
All right. Appreciate the heads up.
Update. Anyway, you know, I can truthfully say after 9 games into this season, I really struggled to believe this is where we are. And I know we started talking about some changes a few weeks ago, but I don't care. I don't care if it ends up in an interception. Throw the ball to Brian Thomas Jr. Sling it down the field. Step back 2 yards and let him run under it or try it. I don't care. What in the world are we doing out there today? I had a great time today because I was with a good friend of mine. And, you know, we gave the Vikings fans hell the whole entire game because they should have been kicking our butts. But they tried to give us the game 5 or 6 different times. And for whatever reason, Mr. Press Taylor can't seem to get the job done. Anyway, I love my Jaguars, and we need some new offensive play callers, should I say. Anyway, have a good weekend, guys.
Thanks for the call. Brian Thomas Jr. today, 3 targets, 2 catches, 12 yards, all in the second half, by the way. Yeah. And the Jags weren't on the field much in the first half.
Yeah, I don't want to beat my chest, Darren, but I just said the same
just
thing.
Literally
I just literally before you came on said the exact same thing. If you're going to throw a pick, man, throw trying to get it to the most explosive playmaker on the field, and that's exactly what he is. Again, coaches will laugh at this because you don't know this and you don't know that. You don't understand. You won't figure it out. But the reality of it is that it's pretty simple to see that 17 is special. Find a way to keep forcing the ball to him.
7.
I'm sorry.
17's not bad either.
17's a good option also.
Yes,
Ingram.
7. 7 is special.
All right. Thank you, Darren. Let's go out to Mayport. Connor, you're next up on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, Connor.
Hey, gents. So calling in, it's always this season has come to like a comically low level. So I've been trying to figure out what the most annoying part about the losses have been, because it's obviously we're just going to keep losing games. And I've come to the conclusion, I think it's the whole regime thinks they're the smartest people on earth, whether they're trying to pencil whip the other team by having Strange play only 9 plays against the Eagles and having Tramlin for 33, or not throwing BTJ the ball because Doug said they were clouding him or something along those lines. And then Balky obviously just gives off the vibe with reaching for picks and making free agency decisions that seem to be above us, and we don't understand what's going on in the field. So I think just overall the feeling that we're just lesser and don't understand football like they do, which obviously they're pros, but it's obvious that we can see it's not good. is the most annoying thing. I just want to leave those comments. Thanks.
Thanks for the call. And
I don't think anything we heard in the postgame is going to dissuade Connor from feeling that
I
way.
don't think so. 12-7, the final score. Vikings over the Jaguars. We've got plenty to dissect. Plenty of time for phone calls.
There's been another 12-7 game in Jaguars history.
Did we win it?
No. I don't think so.
0 for 2.
I have to go back and look.
Brian.
Do you remember the game, though? I remember the game.
Not off the top of my head.
No.
Do you want to see if callers can?
Do we have 143 yards in it? Probably.
That was the Monday night game against the Ravens, the Blaine Gabbert game where John Gruden said, uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's come back in a moment. More of your calls. 355-NFL-1, the number 355-6351. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Football is back. Celebrate with a gay Duval meal deal. Score 2 Roller Grill favorites and a 20-ounce Coca-Cola soft drink for just $4.50. That means you can choose any 2 to pair with your Coke. 2 hot dogs, 2 tornadoes, 2 roller bites, or mix and match. Whether you're stopping for a quick snack or tailgating with friends, this is a victory for every Jags fan. Deal happening now through January 2nd, 2025. Stop by to purchase in store.
What's here is a place that generations have trusted to help their kids grow up healthy and strong. What's here are caregivers with knowledge and expertise rivaling any children's hospital in the world. What's here is the only Level 1 pediatric trauma center in our region. What's here is Wolfson Children's Hospital, with the technology, research, and dedication to save and change countless young lives. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbq.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Jacksonville Builders score big with DL Cabinetry. As the official cabinet supplier of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they offer top quality kitchen and bathroom cabinetry for any project. Enjoy fast turnaround, complimentary design, and great prices. Visit dlcabinetry.com today to learn more and to become a dealer. Limited spots available. DL Cabinetry, the winning choice for builders.
Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, CSI Companies partners with leading healthcare and technology organizations nationwide to deliver workforce solutions. CSI prides itself on building meaningful relationships and provides personalized operations to fuel the success of businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your workforce solutions reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com. Number 355-6351. The Scoreboard Show continues. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Brian Sexton. We're at the Hyundai Studios after a 12-7 final. Brian, you have something to say.
I just want to say they did win that game against the Ravens. It was Monday Night Football. Monday night, October 24th, 2011. It was Blaine Gabbert's big debut, and they didn't do much. They got the 4 field goals, and they beat the Ravens 12-7.
They won the game.
They did. They won. It was the reverse of this one.
It goes on his record as a win.
No doubt. Didn't have a whole lot of those here.
No.
But, hey, whatever. We'll take it.
Not many have.
Shall we go to the north side and check in with Dave next up here on the Scoreboard Show? Dave, go ahead.
Hey, guys. I've been a Jaguars fan for the last 16 years. You guys talking about Blaine Gabbert earlier. I remember all those years vividly. I remember Bortles, the boat. And like you said earlier, there was not a lot of winning through those years. But I truly believe this is probably the most painful Jaguars season I've ever actually sat through. And to me, this season has been a memorandum on Trent Baalke and Doug Peterson's running of the team. And we have just seen it as a total failure. It ranges from not drafting well, the lack of development with players, the free agency signings. I mean, we just saw a game against the Vikings where Vikings defense has been exposed over the last 2 weeks. Lions absolutely trounced them. I understand the Lions are an offensive juggernaut, but, still, it opened up holes. I heard a caller earlier talking about how Doug basically said, you know what, Eagles put Brian Thomas on cloud coverage, can't get him the ball. There is something unacceptable about this team having, playmakers on offense. Evan Ingram, Brian Thomas, Tank, ETN, even Parker Washington now that Kirk is injured, and none of them can get involved in the game. I understand that Mac Jones is not T-Law, but that was just a truly, truly pathetic game to watch from an offensive perspective, especially given that this is the first game all year that the defense has controlled more or less start to finish. I understand that the Vikings had, I believe it was 5 or 6 red zone trips. They got basically no points out of any of them.
Right.
For the first 3 quarters of the game, you're holding the Vikings, which was their top 6 scoring offense coming into this game, to 3 points. And you cannot score anything off of 3 interceptions, one of which, honestly, Monteric Brown, I'm very happy with him. That interception really should have been called back, so you shouldn't even have had that one. But just the inability to move the ball, whether it's Trevor under center, whether it's Mac under center, it speaks to a total failure in offensive design. It speaks to a failure in offensive situational play calling.
Yes.
And I'm sick of it. I can't even give.
Yeah, appreciate the call. We get where he was going.
But just for the record, the Vikings held the Colts to 6 offensive points last week. They did not give up a bunch of points last week. They played great defense. The only touchdown Indianapolis scored was on defense in that game. That doesn't take away from the larger point, but just, for the record on that one.
Referendum, by the way.
Correct. Yes, a referendum. So I think Dave probably speaks for a lot of people's frustration with the offense.
I can tell you
clearly.
On my walk from the Upper West Club where I work with Fred on game day down here, I heard a lot of people that wanted to stop and talk.
No doubt. All right, let's go to Paul from Lake City checking in next year on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, Paul.
I was listening as you guys were naming the player of the game, and there's one person who I felt that you guys omitted from the discussion who deserves recognition.
Who's that?
From our side, and that is Cam Robinson. His play wasn't enough to put us over the line, but I think he definitely deserves an honorable mention.
He tried. He sure
did, didn't he?
Couple of penalties on.
Yeah, late hit on Savage.
I mean, that was dirty as could be on Cam. I don't care what you think about Cam Robinson one way or the other. That was a dirty play. Savage is yards out of bounds when he hit him right there. I mean, that's just.
I'm surprised you didn't jumped on somebody.
I am too, honestly, right? Like that is one that I could have defended guys getting tossed out of the game because this guy is coming to kill your guy. You can't defend yourself in that position where Darnell Savage was. And, in a sense, maybe they should have been. It's kind of like when your quarterback gets a cheap shot taken on him. There's no difference. I mean, he was 2 yards out of bounds. So
on the Jags sideline, too.
Right. Surrounded by guys. And I don't know if it's that they have a relationship with Cam or whatever, but Cam should have been taking a few fists, quite honestly, and again, I'm sure they're coaching him not to do that kind of thing, but it would have been completely understandable in that circumstance.
I don't think Cam is going to be getting a game bowl from the Vikings this week.
No?
Did you see the video of him getting one last week?
I did.
Yeah.
He was the first one that got one.
Yeah, no. I felt good for him. I do not feel good for him tonight.
Plenty ahead. More calls when we come back. 355 NFL1, the number 355-6351. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Jags fans, are you ready to upgrade your living space? Enter for a chance to win the ultimate furniture giveaway. You could enhance your home with a new sectional, queen mattress, or queen bedroom set, courtesy of Furniture Source. One lucky fan will receive new furniture after every Jaguars home game this season. Don't miss out. Enter today by visiting jaguars.com/sweepstakes. Jaguars.com/sweepstakes. Selections will vary by game.
Football is back. Celebrate with a Gabe Duval meal deal. Score 2 roller grill favorites and a 20-ounce Coca-Cola soft drink for just $4.50. That means you can choose any 2 to pair with your Coke. 2 hot dogs, 2 tornadoes, 2 roller bites, or mix and match. Whether you're stopping for a quick snack or tailgating with friends, this is a victory for every Jags fan. Deal happening now through January 2nd, 2025. Stop by to purchase in store.
Tackle your marketing needs with Kessler Creative. Providing direct mail services for more than a decade, Kessler has a wide range of services from small mailers to large banners and signs. Draft Kessler as your first pick to receive the best targeted mail list. Elevate your business and be on the winning team with Kessler Creative. Kessler Creative, results-driven marketing and proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic looking for a parking space? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Field is on JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 5 locations around Jacksonville. Passes start at $10 and are available exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app. Visit JTAFLA.com for full details. The JTA Game Day Express, where you're winning before the game even starts. Your Game Day Express is sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in Miami and Houston. Watch them win in Philly, Detroit, Nashville, and Las Vegas. All the other Jaguars games are just one short connection away. And if airport parking has you stressed, be sure to visit the Jax Airport website before traveling to the terminal. On it, you'll find information about the status of on-airport parking in real time. See if your favorite areas are available or if you need to call an audible. Visit flyjax.com for more information.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
All right, phone calls, 355-NFL-1, the number 355-6351. You call, we take them. What you got?
We got them rolling in. Don on the north side is up next here on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, Don.
Hey, how y'all doing? Good evening, fellas.
Good evening.
Hey, man.
Yeah, just respectfully, we stink, man. You know, like when it all comes down to it, just watching it has been hurtful. Just the entire time, we just always find a way to lose. Sometimes it's the defense that steps up and does something good. Sometimes it's the offense that step up and the defense can't respond to it. And, you know, it's just frustrating as a fan, obviously, you know, the entire time from this. Just looking at it, I just don't know what the solution is. I think they need to just get rid of the staff. You know, Doug Peterson, he started out pretty good and everything else, but yeah, let's get rid of it instead of all that nice nasty. We need somebody that's going to be aggressive and put their foot in they behinds, and as far as motivation and getting something done, and stop squandering away these opportunities. 5 points or 3 points or whatever the case it is, and the losing effort isn't enough for it. So I appreciate you guys for the time.
Thank you,
Take your
Don.
comments out there.
Appreciate it.
He was respectful about it, though.
Look,
He was. It was good.
It's that time of year.
Yep.
They're 2-8.
Yep. It's that time of year.
I don't think there was anything unfair about that.
There's not a coach who might be listening to this who wouldn't understand it's part of the game. It's what you hear. I just will throw this back out there. Doug Peterson gave this team, this franchise, back-to-back winning seasons for the first time in 20 years. Mm-hmm. you can't just throw it all out. And for whatever reason, this is not a coach and a coaching staff that yells a lot, doesn't lose their composure, doesn't they're not over animated like some coaches are, but that's overrated too. I mean, did you ever see Bill Belichick lose it on the sidelines? Never. So I'm
on
not,
occasion.
Yeah, rarely.
Yeah, right, right. It's to me, it's not about motivation. It's not about firing guys up. It's about, do you have the right guys doing the right things at the right time,
including the coaching staff.
Totally. I'm not excluding them at all. I'm just throwing it back out there. I have an affinity for 9-8 and 9-8 after so many years of much different than that. Yeah,
I agree with you. All right, Don, thank you for the call. By the way, that's 6 losses by 5 points.
Yes, 6 now. Yeah.
NFL worst.
By like 3 games, right? Or
well,
I don't know. By 2 games last week.
Right, it was 2 games coming into this week, so at least a 2-game advantage on anybody else. We go to the South Side next. Matt is up on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, guys. Here's what's crazy. Speaking of 9-8, you don't have to worry about mediocrity this year, you know. So this team's 2-8.
You don't like winning records?
How disappointing it is. What's more bizarre than anything is with all the ineptitude that we show, how do we keep week to week being in these games that are somehow close? That's what's crazy. A month ago, I really thought that this team was going to start playing better ball, and we were going to get to the end of the season, and we were going to think, boy, we really screwed up that first month. You know, this could have been something decent. We're so far past that at this point. This is I don't recall a team that had this bad of a record that somehow ended up in close games every single week. And I know y'all aren't coaches. I'm not a coach, but you guys do this as a profession. I'd love to hear, you know, your short answer on what is to blame or who is to blame on this. I appreciate it, guys.
Thanks for the call.
I feel like we've been
We've been
chasing
last
this
half
for 10
hour?
weeks, you know, and not just every post-game show for the last month. It's been this. They're in these games, but there's something like 1 week, the defense, and let's be honest, the defense gave up 400 yards today.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
So they weren't perfect. They were out there for 42 minutes. It was their own fault. They couldn't get them off the field until they had to get them off the
Ultimate
field.
stat is the score, though.
They
gave
did
up 12 points.
I grant you
this
that.
is an offensive issue today.
They
were terrible today. This has nothing to do with the defense,
Well,
in my opinion.
I wouldn't say nothing to do with the defense.
Give up 12 points.
I
what else
get
are they supposed to do?
I get that.
Take it away 6 times?
Not give up 400 yards. Look, again, this is where we're at every week. This side of the ball played less worse than the other side of the ball, so we can't blame the other side of the ball. That's what I feel like we're at. Yes, more blame.
They could have covered Hawkinson on those third downs. Okay, shorter.
Yeah.
They get an extra possession. And
I mean, why do you think
right.
Devin Lloyd had 16 tackles today? Because the tight end caught the ball at the sticks all day, and that's who he was tackling all day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, yes, the offense much worse than the defense today. That doesn't mean the defense was great. Now, yes, on the scoreboard, I'll grant you 12 points.
It's not a good defense. We know this, right? Look at any of the numbers, the relevant numbers, whether it was takeaways or quarterback efficiency rating against them or explosive plays, right? I mean, the number of explosive plays that this team has given up, it's on a pace to approach the league record. It's not a good defense. But they broke serve last week at the end of the game and gave the Jaguars a chance. That's what they do. That's what this group of defenders does. They're going to find a way to break serve and give you a chance. And they did that last week. They did that this week. But as Matt might point out, that was Matt, right?
Yes.
Matt. The Packers game, they couldn't hold up, right? They gave up the 51-yard play that set up the game-winning field goal. The defense is what the defense is. The offense is where I just look at it and think, how is this offense not able to find something that it can consistently do, if it's the tight end, whatever it may be, to stay on the field, move the chains, set up the opportunity to perhaps have a drive? The last month, what have we seen drive-wise? Not many.
No.
Not many drives. Forget touchdowns, not many drives.
Hey, look, I think it's fair to say, if you're going to say that this defense isn't good, neither is this offense. I mean, not enough. They don't execute. Look, they both have their shortcomings when they need to rise up the most.
He wanted to know how a team that is this bad record-wise could be in so many games. There are some good players on this team, and they have kept playing. They have not quit. They have not given in.
Yep.
They are playing hard So that has to count for something.
When you have a guy like Alukan out there who's done it for a long time, and has a lot of pride in how he plays, I mean, that's just one example of that.
And that's why they're staying in these games.
Yeah.
But they're not good enough to get over the top.
Edge players, certainly, Trayvon Walker, Josh Hines-Allen. You got guys that want to play at a certain standard.
Walker's sack gave them an opportunity to get the ball back one more time.
Absolutely.
That's breaking serve. Yeah.
Also, probably not the wisest choice to try to punch the ball out when the play's
Yeah.
over.
No.
I mean, look, the game was going to end
you're
anyway with they're going to punt with about 15 seconds left, but nevertheless. Let's get one more in before we break. Ryan in Mandarin next on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, how you doing, guys? I just wanted to say two things. So we obviously been losing a lot, but I've been starting to look at the couple of pros on our the good things that on our losses. And so last week we were the only team that got the 2-point conversions, which was cool. And then this week I thought the defense did a really good job in getting those key interceptions because we haven't gotten any interceptions like all season. And so I thought they did a great job at making us the only team that got a touchdown. So I thought that was great. That was it. So y'all enjoy the rest of your day, guys.
I appreciate
That's
it, man.
about it, actually. But, hey, I mean, takeaways. I mean, this is a team that hasn't taken the ball away really at all this year. 2 on defense all season. They got 3 today. Kind of switched up the way they played on the back end, and it paid off.
When Savage got his, I thought, hey, they have something, right?
Right. And that was just one-on-one coverage with Justin Jefferson.
Just a great play.
Made a great, and he's
a bad
covered him
throw.
probably in his time in Green Bay. I'm not saying exclusively,
Right.
but he's probably had a little bit of a knowledge on what he was doing.
Even
out there.
Darby made a great play on the ball, right?
He did.
Now, that was going to be blown dead regardless because of the penalty on it.
I'll hesitate here, though. Remember, the Savage interception was right after that was when they started looking at his hand on the sideline, Darnold.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if it was supposed to be more outside and he just missed through it. And then I was like, oh, my hand.
I mean, he was in
I don't know.
position to make a play, and he
did. He made the play.
They showed a highlight on television, if you recall, of Darnold diving with that hand and swiping to try to make a play on Savage, and I think that's when he hurt
there
it,
you go.
on
Okay,
that
it was
one.
after the,
Yep,
it was on the
that.
return.
It was on that one.
Okay, there you go. Let's come back. Our final thoughts, and boy, do we have some. Or maybe we're out of them at this rate. I don't know.
This room, there's probably at least one left in each of us.
Yeah, maybe. We'll find out in about 3 minutes. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
What's here is a place that generations have trusted to help their kids grow up healthy and strong. What's here are caregivers with knowledge and expertise rivaling any children's hospital in the world. What's here is the only Level 1 pediatric trauma center in our region. What's here is Wolfson Children's Hospital, with the technology, research, and dedication to save and change countless young lives. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with Everbank. Open an Everbank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. Everbank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Want to cruise down an open road in high-performance style? Visit JacksCorvetteGiveaway.com for a chance to win the ride of your dreams. A brand new 2024 Corvette Stingray Coupe. With its sleek design and cutting-edge technology, this vehicle is built for speed and luxury. So what are you waiting for? Enter to win at JacksCorvetteGiveaway.com today. No purchase necessary. Open only to legal residents of the states of Georgia and Florida. 18 years of age and older. Some restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. Ends 11/15/24. For entry information and official rules, visit gotoeventlink.com/rules. Hey Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey sponsor of the NFL, it's not kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why they've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more. Please drink responsibly.
Scoreboard Show continues right now.
All right, let's wrap it up. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Brian Sexton. What a day. In the Hyundai Studios, 12-7. It's as painful as it sounds. Yeah.
Without a doubt. I think the hardest part is that you get a defense that we have known is not that good. And they give you their very best today. Their very best. And their very best, by the way, Mike, means they're also giving up 400 yards.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying. They limited it to 12 points.
They gave you everything they had, and you just saw those guys come off the field at the end completely gassed after 42 minutes and 19 seconds out there. It's just, I don't know what else to say other than the defense gave you everything they had, and you didn't have enough to help them with another drive.
They didn't need much. You just needed one drive.
They had one drive in the whole game.
Yeah.
One drive.
In the first quarter, finally, by the way.
After the 3-minute and 44-second mark of the first quarter, it was over.
We talked about fast starts. Oh, what?
Yep.
7. They're leading the game.
Right.
And they can't do a damn thing after it.
10-0 each of the last 3.
Well, and the last couple games, they'd had, 6-7 plays in the first quarter and 30 yards, and here they are with, they're 70, 75 yards and 11 plays. I mean, they're making things happen. Think, all right, they got something going today. And the defense did, the offense didn't.
All right, so we'll call this a show. Fifth quarter is going to come up next, and those guys are ready to take your calls and go on into the evening. Should be an interesting week this week, I'm sure, on Jaguars Today.
Oh, I cannot wait to do another 2 hours post-mortem on this one tomorrow from 10 to noon.
And you will. Jags AM tomorrow.
Jags AM tomorrow, 9:30 live, I believe, is what we're doing.
No happy hour tomorrow afternoon, not on the calendar, but to do the holiday.
Oh, that's right. It's Veterans Day.
But then we'll be back with Bucky Brooks on Wednesday with Huddle Up in the afternoon.
Couple of days to digest.
It's not going to taste good then either, I'm afraid.
It's not like Thanksgiving turkey.
It's not. That's a few weeks away. It's Brian Sexton, Mike Dempsey. I'm JP Shadrick. Our thanks to Callie Jones, our entire crew at Jaguars.com. And thanks to you for listening. Final score again, Vikings 12, Jaguars 7. Jags now 2-8. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.